Dragon Ball. What a juggernaut of a series this is. I like it, you like it, Ibrahim Kanate likes it, your mum likes it. It seems like everyone likes it. I've said like so many times I think I'm gonna have an aneurysm. And with the Dragon Ball Daima anime out now, what better time to do a video on the series than now? So let's go ahead and watch some Dragon Ball Daima. Oh, it's my phone. Hello? Wait. We're not watching Dragon Ball Daima? Then what are we watching? Dragon Ball Evolution? Oh, alright. Alright, fine. Bye. That was just Don Cheadle on the phone. You know, it's his birthday today, so he's politely forcing me to watch the movie or else he'll bomb my house. Again. He said that if I don't talk about Thor, he'll bomb my house. That's weird. I hear something. What's this? Oh shit. Oh dear. Dragon Ball Evolution. I can't believe I'm gonna have to do a video on this movie. I've heard some bad things about this yoke, so I'll just give this a watch. It can't be that bad, right? Right?
What have I got myself into?
I'm fucking shitting myself.
What did I just watch? Why did I think this was a good idea? Am I really a fool? Do I actually enjoy pain? It must be, because I felt all kinds of emotions while watching it. But I can't give up now. I've come this far. I will finish this video, even if it kills me. Now before I talk about this abomination, here's a little background on the series. Shonen is the most popular genre of anime or manga that exists today. The concept of shonen is having a bunch of action scenes for that teenage to young adult range. The genre is a juggernaut in the manga and anime communities, and I believe it was all because of this gem. Dragon Ball was created by Akira Toriyama. Rest in peace, you legend. It may not be the first shonen to exist, but it is probably the most influential series not only in the genre of shonen, but of all time. Any shonen series to come out after Dragon Ball, whether they know it or not, were inspired by it in some way. Like I said, I really like Dragon Ball. I got into the series around 4 years ago, and I won't be saying anything controversial when I say it's great. The series is about a young Saiyan boy named Son Goku, along with his friends, looking for the Dragon Balls, powerful items that can grant any wish you desire when you gather all 7 of them, and fights people who gets in his way. An anime adaptation by Toei came out 2 years after Toriyama published the first volume of the manga, which ran from 1986 to 1989, and it brought the series to new heights. Dragon Ball Z soon aired, and by soon I mean a week later. That ran from 1989 to 1996, and it was an even bigger success than the original. By 1995, Toriyama had just published the last volume of the manga, and he was done with the franchise. We were blessed with a near perfect story, iconic fight scenes, and an old man with a turtle shell on his back. It's nice to see that we got an ending. It'd be a shame if it were to continue for no reason at all. Just like a dog with a toy that is beyond repair, Toei just couldn't let it go. They decided to create Dragon Ball GT. Toriyama had nothing to do with GT, so it is not canon to the main series. I'd like to think of it as an alternate timeline of events after Z. That's how most people view it anyway. Dragon Ball's popularity has only gotten bigger since the turn of the century, despite the lack of content. In 2002, 20th Century Fox bought the film rights to make live-action Dragon Ball movies, with Toriyama signed on as a consultant. Stephen Chow was the first person they asked to direct, but turned it down despite being a fan of the series. This is because he only wanted to direct movies that he personally created, but he did take the role of producer. Fox then asked both Robert Rodriguez and even Zack Snyder, but they both passed on the opportunity to direct. Imagine what a Dragon Ball movie by Zack Snyder would look like. Oh wait, he already made one. It's called Man of Steel. Fox finally got their man, James Wong, with Ben Ramsey brought on to write the script. The final name for the movie is Dragon Ball Evolution, which released on the 10th of April 2009. So how did the movie turn out? Well, let's just say that you have a friend who loves Dragon Ball. It's movie night, so you invite him over to watch a film. You ask, "Wanna watch Dragon Ball Evolution?" And 9 times out of 10 you'd get this response.
Holy God, what are you showing me? His head. Come on! Open your eyes!
Dragon Ball Evolution is bad. This is one of those movies that is so terrible that it kinda comes around to being a masterpiece. A masterpiece on how not to adapt an animated property. I just don't like the idea of turning something that was originally animated be turned into live action. To me, it's a lazy way of capitalizing on people's nostalgia. They are either a repeat of the original story or something different entirely. Another reason why I think these live action remakes keep happening is because of the general public's perception of anything animated, that it is purely made for kids and not adults. Anyone who thinks this way deserves to eat a jar of Marmite. By that logic, Goblin Slayer is on the same level as, I don't know, Paw Patrol. By the way, don't watch Goblin Slayer, especially the second episode. It's not for the faint of heart. This is a video on Dragon Ball Evolution, so let's talk about it now. The movie begins with narration from Gohan, explaining how an evil space goblin by the name of King Piccolo took over Earth for a while, but was then sealed away by a group of magical mystics. It didn't last long, as he was set free. He, along with his assistant Mai, now search for the Dragon Balls and will kill anyone who gets in their way. That, my friends, is what we call exposition. Something that the movie likes to do a lot. You know, it's like a football fan being addicted to buying jerseys. Damn it. The first time we see Goku, he's doing this, sweating like he is in an episode of Hot Ones.
Would you please not look dramatically off into the middle distance?
Honestly, he looks more baked than a cookie on a beach in Malaga. Justin Chatwin plays Goku here, and bless him, he really is trying. He did everything he could to make this character work. Before filming, he would study the series and even read Journey to the West, a Chinese book that inspired Dragon Ball. His portrayal of Goku just doesn't work, and I'll explain why later. He is training with his adoptive grandfather, Gohan, and this sparring session perfectly summarizes the fight choreography in this film. It lacks any real impact because of how often it cuts away from a different shot. A lot of slow motion and speed ups. I feel like I'm gonna puke. Goku is then given a Dragon Ball by Gohan as a birthday present, claiming if he gathers the other 6, then he will be granted one perfect wish. What exactly is a perfect wish? I mean, believe it or not, I actually have the answer right here. So let's have a read of it, shall we? I wish Manchester United will be relegated from the Premier League. I actually kinda like Gohan in this movie. Rando Duck Kim is really good at playing the cool and wise old dude. If you watched my Kung Fu Panda video, then you know how much I love Rando's performance as Master Oogway, and there are a few similarities between him and Gohan.
Normal is also overrated. You must have faith in who you are.
No, you just need to believe. Promise me, Shifu. Promise me you will believe.
If I ever see him in a pub, I'd love to sit down and have a pint with him. He's that cool of a guy. In school, Goku is like really into this girl called Chi-Chi, but he is super shy. So how does he get her attention? By helping her open her locker, using his chi, which ends up opening all the other lockers. Let me just remind you that a few minutes ago, Goku was struggling to summon his chi, yet he was somehow able to use it here. He really must want to have sexual relations with that woman. Chi-Chi notices him and as a token of her gratitude, invites him to her party later that night, which he accepts without hesitation.
I'm not saying that Chi-Chi's a stupid name, I'm just saying that it's not normal.
You racist son of a bitch!
Remember when I said I'll bring up why Chatwin's portrayal as Goku doesn't work? Well, this subplot really sums it up. You see, in the original series, Goku is someone who is honest, kind and outgoing. He loves to train and fight because he's a really competitive guy. We get traces of that throughout the film, but that's it, just traces. This version of Goku seems to care more about Chi-Chi than he does his own grandfather. And here's why. While he is getting ready to go, he turns into Elvis Presley, and just like Elvis, he died in the bathroom. Gohan actually spent time making a birthday dinner for Goku, complete with a cake and everything. I don't know why Goku didn't tell him where he was going. They should have had dinner before he left at least. Poor Gohan. I actually feel sad for him. You're such a prick, Goku. Anyway, he makes it to the party, but some bullies come along and try to fight him. Now I kinda like this fight scene because of how hilarious the concept of it is. Goku manages to take them down without laying a finger on them, being on the defensive the whole time. Meanwhile, back at the house, Gohan is just sitting all depressed over not being with his grandson, when suddenly he is attacked by Piccolo and Mai, looking for Goku's Dragon Ball. Now this design for Piccolo is a bit weird, but it could have been much worse. He was going to look more handsome, but his actor James Marsters fought tooth and nail to make Piccolo look as accurate to the source material as possible, since he is a massive fan of the series and wants to do the character justice. It's still really bad. Piccolo uses choke force on Gohan and crushes the house down because they couldn't find the Dragon Ball in the house, since Goku took it with him earlier. Now I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Piccolo doesn't have those powers I just mentioned in the original series, unless he was a Sith the whole time. Goku makes it back to the house and finds Gohan, almost dead. Before he dies, Gohan tells Goku to meet with Muten Roshi, along with mentioning some vague warnings of Ozaru, Piccolo's former assistant. Before Goku sets off on his adventure, he finds a gi belonging to Gohan and takes it with him. I wonder if he's going to use it later on in the movie. Wink, wink. Goku bumps into Bulma, someone who is also looking for the Dragon Balls, because Mai stole the one belonging to her. I'll say this, Emmy Rossum really nails the casting for Bulma, because they are both scientific geniuses and massive egomaniacs.
This can detect and locate the signature wavelengths emitted by the Dragon Balls. See?
Well, you made a Dragon Ball energy locator? Cool.
They decide to team up and make their way to Muten Roshi's house, where he also owns a Dragon Ball, and decides to tag along with them. I actually think Chow Yun-Fat's Roshi is the second best character in the entire film, behind of course Gohan.
Finally, I can see. You are the key, somehow. Gohan knew it. That's why he trained you.
He looks like he's high on cocaine and is a huge pervert. They make their way to the Stone Temple and find out that Chi-Chi is a fighter who is due to participate in an upcoming tournament. The gang wander into the desert in search of a Dragon Ball, but fall into a hole set up by a thief named Yamcha. And let me just say, he is by far the worst character in this film. June Park, the guy playing him, comes across as annoying, irritating, and serves as the comic relief throughout most of the movie. I'm glad his testicles turned into steamed vegetables.
Peace and right! I just ride my neck!
Roshi convinces him to join them, and even helps them find a Dragon Ball. After they get their hands on it, Roshi decides to learn a spell that would seal Piccolo away for good, but it would kill Roshi in the process. During Chi-Chi's fight with Mai at the tournament, Mai discreetly takes some of Chi-Chi's blood and walks away. I wonder why. Meanwhile, Roshi teaches Goku how to do the Kamehameha. And if you've ever watched Dragon Ball before, or even read it, then you know how significant a Kamehameha is in the series, so I wonder if he's going to use it later on in the movie. Wink, wink. Roshi also teaches him about airbending techniques. Now I know they mentioned airbending a few times before, but I can't keep on ignoring it any longer. Why do they call it that? What am I watching? Dragon Ball or Avatar The Last Airbender? I'm sorry, but it's so off-putting. Anyway, Goku tries to impress Chi-Chi with his newfound Kamehameha. Not long after, Mai, disguising herself as Chi-Chi, steals the gang's Dragon Balls and gives them to Piccolo, who now has all 7 of them. Just as he was about to call upon Shenron, the dragon who lives inside the balls, Roshi steps up and knocks him down. Goku puts on his gi and is ready to take down both Piccolo and Ozaru. Remember when I brought up the name Ozaru earlier? Well, Piccolo tells Goku that he will become Ozaru when the eclipse occurs.
When the blood moon eclipses the sun, you will become Ozaru.
So yeah, Goku turns into a giant ugly CGI monkey man and will now serve under Piccolo. Roshi tries to use the spell to trap Piccolo, but he breaks the containment vessel. Roshi gets killed by Goku, but helps Goku get back to his senses and return back to normal before he dies. He fights Piccolo while Bulma is running away from Mai. She was about to kill Bulma, but then Yamcha comes to the rescue and shoots Mai. Meanwhile, Goku, using both his and Ozaru's power, is able to channel enough energy to hit Piccolo with a big Kamehameha and takes him down. Goku decides to use the Dragon Balls to revive Roshi. He meets up with Chi-Chi, they do some sparring, the end. Oh yeah, and there's a post-credit scene where it's revealed Piccolo is alive.
Yes! Fucking brilliant!
Dragon Ball Evolution is horrendous. On a budget of $30 million, it only managed to gross over $56 million. I don't know why this movie only had a budget that small, but I guess if it was any higher, then this movie would have been a bigger flop financially than it already is. This movie was so bad that Akira Toriyama went ahead and revived the series by making Dragon Ball Super in 2015, 6 years after Evolution came out. He didn't want people's lasting memory of the franchise to be this abomination. Everyone in this movie tried, I'm sure of that, but that doesn't change the fact that the end product felt rushed. It was so bad that most of the cast and crew had to apologise for this movie even existing. So is this the worst live action movie ever made? No, not really. At worst, Dragon Ball Evolution is a betrayal of everything the series stands for. At best, it's a so bad it's good type of film. One that you would watch while drunk with friends and have a good time. So yeah, despite how shit this movie is, I'll admit that it made me laugh quite a few times. If you really are into bad movies, then give it a go. But if you aren't into them, then give this film a restraining order.
What is up, my fellow male human?
Oh, hi Don Cheadle.
Thank you for making that video on that wank movie.
You're welcome, man.
It is the best birthday present ever. In return, I will not bomb your house for a second time.
Fair enough.
Goodbye, you mustached motherfucker, and happy birthday to me, aka Don Cheadle Day.
Man, what a great guy he is. Although, it's actually got me a bit curious. I mean, who were the production companies involved in the making of the movie? Let me check it out. Right. There's Dune Entertainment, Star Overseas, Ingenuous Media, and Big Screen Productions. Okay. Wait. Dune Entertainment?